You get the ball back with like 8 minutes left, you're up by 10, and you're sort of flipping that switch from trying to score to trying to burn some clock. Is that a tough thing to do in that situation, or are you guys pretty comfortable when it comes to those situations?
Yeah, luckily enough, we've been in those situations a couple times now, so we've kind of figured out a way to do that. I made the one bad decision, trying to make the throw to Pringle there. They played it well, but other than that, I thought we ran the ball well when we needed to run the ball, and made plays happen. And at the end of games, it comes down to that. When the defense is playing like they're playing, to grind out drives at the end of games to kind of kill the clock down. Those are big drives that you'll need at the end of the year.
You mentioned running the ball well. In your opinion, how did Clyde Edwards-Helaire look as his first came back? 5 straight games he's missed, and now he's back in the mix.
Yeah, I mean, he rolled, man. I mean, that was a good defensive front, a good defense, and he was finding little creases here and there to make some stuff happen. And I thought the offensive line did a great job getting them those windows. And so he'll keep incorporating them more and more. And I mean, he looked healthy. So I mean, it's glad to have him back. So hopefully we can find a way to throw him some passes too. He's pretty good. He's pretty good out of the back foot as well.
You've gone up against some good young players coming into the league. What are your thoughts on Michael Parsons and what he plays for?
Yeah, I mean, he's a special player. I mean, to be that good of a linebacker and then be able to play defensive end, there's not a lot of guys like that in this league. And he has a high motor. I mean, he chased me down on that sack, and then a strip sack, and then I mean, the whole game he was in there the whole time battling. And like I said, they have great players in that defense, and I thought our guys did a great job, especially early, and then we battled through at the end of the game.
What stands out to you, Patrick, about how much better the defense is playing and why? And part of that also is I wonder if it's affecting your game in a positive way too.
Yeah, I mean, I think ever since pretty much the second half of the Tennessee game, those guys have been playing better. It got lost because the offense wasn't playing very well, that we were winning games because of the defense, and so people are so used to our offense kind of going out there and putting up these numbers. But I would say it every week when I was right here at the podium, like, don't lose how good our defense is playing. And to go up against an offense like that, that has put up so many yards, so many scores and touchdowns, and then to shut it down, I mean, that's impressive. And so for us as an offense, when you get in these kind of funks that we kind of did in that second half, we know if we can just grind it out, get field goals, try to find a way to get a touchdown, that we're going to win the football game.
Patrick. Next-gen stats says that interception that went through Kelce's hands was the 6th one you've had this season. There was a 75% chance you're better actually being completed. Have there just been some of these plays this year you just put your arms up and you're just kind of figuring out how in the world these things happen to you?
It's a heck of a stat. I didn't know that, but I mean, it's part of the game. I've been lucky enough that I've had these turnover-worthy plays that haven't got picked off too. So I think you just go out, you go and play. If interception happens, you move on to the next play, and that's how I've always rolled. And I'm gonna keep firing. I mean, when you're firing to a guy like Travis Kelce, I mean, he doesn't drop the football. I mean, if I put the ball a little bit out in front of him, he probably makes that catch and splits a couple people. So it's a combination of two things. It's me not putting it in the right spot, and then it just getting unlucky there at the end. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited about it because we're still not playing our best football, and we're sitting here 7-4, at least a half game up on the AFC West, and you go into the bye week knowing you're going to play a lot of divisional opponents coming up. So everything's right in front of us. We can be better, especially offensively. The defense can continue to get better and better each and every week, and to be where we started to where we're at now, and still not even playing our best football, I would take that every time.
Learning moment for Trey Smith. What was your message for him when he came off the field after that season?
Yeah, I mean, he's like the quietest guy, so I don't know how he ended up saying something that got him in trouble. But, you have to kind of teach him that you can't – I mean, if you're going to say something, say it under your breath at least. Don't let anyone hear it. But you love having the mentality that he has, that he wants to be great. He wants to continue to be – I think he's probably mad at himself as much as he was mad at anything else. And so for him, he'll learn from that. I mean, I highly doubt it happens again, but, I mean, I want him finishing every single play and playing the way he's played this entire season.
You talked about where you guys were earlier in the year and where you are now. Are you all surprised at how quickly this thing has turned around and the extent to which it seems to have turned around?
Not necessarily. I mean, we just kind of we're just going to take it week by week. We're going to get better and better each and every week this year. We lost some games close early that we probably should have won if we had found ways to finish. And then we took some big lumps and had some big losses that we don't usually have here. But I think you have those leaders in this room that we kind of went back to the drawing board, went back to the fundamentals, and decided to take it week by week, go through the process, trusting the coaching staff. And we're sitting here now with everything in front of us, so we just got to keep that same mindset.
Patrick, a couple Number one, it looked like after the option play, you guys came over to the bench and Coach Bienvy was excited about that. Take us through that play with the old school option that Clyde.
Yeah, he wasn't excited. He was very upset at first, and he got over there, and we'd already talked to Clyde. I mean, obviously Clyde knew that he probably shouldn't have done it, and it's really high emphasis on the taunting right now. And he came over there, and we'd already talked to Clyde. Clyde knew, and so he started getting mad, and then we started hyping him up, and it made him start laughing. And it's hard to break him. It's hard to break with him even whenever he's in that moods. But it's kind of what we do, man. We all love each other and want to be better together.
Before the game, I saw you down there on the bench. You guys are watching the red zone, right? It's up on the jumbotron. You're seeing these scores happen around the league. What does that do for you before the game to look up as you see these teams on the top of their division struggling?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's been this entire season. I mean, there's been a lot of ups and downs for everybody. And so we know that we have to go in with the mindset every single week if we have to be our best. And if we're not our best, we have to find a way to continue to get better and try to find a way to get a win. I think you've seen that this season. We've had games where we've put up a lot of points and played really good. We've had games that we haven't, and we still found a way to get a win. It's a team game in this sport, and it's not the same as it's been these last few years. But when you play as a team and you find a way to win these tough, adverse games, I mean, that's when you have those special teams, and I'm excited for the rest of the season.
Pete and then Aaron. Patrick, you mentioned you want to improve the offense and what will be after the bye week. In what ways do you think you guys could be a little bit better in the final stretch of the season?
Yeah, I think when you get in those third medium areas where the teams are kind of playing that man thief coverage, just finding ways to beat that. I mean, a lot of teams are playing it to us, so we have to be better there. We kind of stop the self-inflicted wounds, if it's the holding or if it's the interceptions or the fumbles or whatever that is. Whenever we don't have those, we usually drive the ball and score, or at least get in range to kick a field goal. So just execution on that part. And then finding ways to beat some coverages that have kind of given us some funks here and there throughout the season. But at least you know what they're going to play, so you can try to find ways during this bye week.
You talked about the lumps earlier in the year. I'm sure you saw the comments. The Chiefs are broken. Patrick Mahomes is broken. Now 4-game winning streak going to the bye week on a high note. What's your message to those?
Yeah, I mean, there's still a long ways to go. Obviously, I knew we were never broken as a team. We have too many good players, too many special guys on this team that go through the process, even when they're bad times or good times. But we're still early in the season. I mean, I know we've kind of gotten to that second half, but our goal is to be on top at the end of the season. It's not to win the regular season, but you have to go through that process of every single day of being better, winning that week to be a great team. And I think we're going to try to do that. And at the end of the year, we'll figure out what we need to say then.